right, the main event is here. The wait is over. The Bronze Bomber is back as he takes on Herndon. Herndon in the orange trunks, Wilder in the black and gold. Gabe, does Wilder still have it? We're going to find out. And now Wilder opens up, wide stance. Herndon said, you know, he studied the Joseph Parker fight. That's the fight Parker won in 2023. Was able to outpoint Deontay, get the decision. Feels like he can really emulate that style. Said movement certainly is going to be key. Wilder.
Man, Wilder looks like he put some size on him. Big frame, starting off with a nice jab.
Well, he added muscle, Gabe. I mean, he's typically, we've seen him walk into heavyweight fights, 210, 215, and in this fight, he weighed in at 225.
Yeah, you know, and I think Wilder's just a lot better putting on size.
Herndon obviously has to avoid the right hand. He's got to be very careful. He's seen it so many times in the past. All it takes is one little slip up.
And I like how Wilder's cutting that ring off on him too. Wherever Herndon's moving, Wilder cuts him off and follows him with that jab.
Now Herndon, he's been in the ring with the likes of, you know, Richard Torres Jr., F.A. Ajagba. So he's been in there with some talented guys. That's another right hand. That the first real right hand thrown by Wilder, but Herndon was able to get out the way and avoid that one. Head movement certainly is going to be key. All the movement is going to be key for Herndon. Now, besides movement, Gabe, does Herndon have the power to hurt Wilder?
Well, you know, at the heavyweight division, anyone can be hurt. You know, these are big guys, 200-plus pounds, so any shot could get you.
We saw Buster Douglas was in the corner of Herndon.
Now, so far, I like how Deontay's starting off this round. Like I said, sticking to that jab, keeping his distance, not really loading up on the right hand, just letting it go a few times, setting the tone for the fight.
Final 10 here of the opening round. Herndon tried to throw a looping right hand, just missed as round one comes to a close. Wants to do just enough to give Herndon something to think about. Wilder utilizing that jab. Certainly has the reach advantage on Herndon. Herndon's going to have to find a way to get on the inside, continue to move. Certainly doesn't want to be a stationary object there, as Wilder immediately threw the right hand, and Herndon was able to avoid it, but was close.
Wilder did get that left hook in, though.
Wilder obviously has always been in great shape, but uses the right hand, backs Herndon up a bit. Herndon trying to now get Wilder on his back foot. Wilder continues to float the jab out there.
You know, for Herndon to be successful, he needs to slip and weave his way inside and throw off that movement. For him to be straight up like this right now, he's not going to be able to get shots in with Wilder.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, he after alluding to the Joseph Parker fight, but, you know, I watched that fight. Parker was not only moving, he was throwing. He was getting in and out.
Yes.
And he was giving Wilder something to think about. A huge looping right hand as Herndon gets out of harm's way. So right now, Herndon's doing a good job at avoiding the right hand, but he's got to, as you mentioned, loop in and out and try to get some offense going.
And that jab, that long jab by Wilder is really in the way for Herndon. He can't figure it out yet. It's a nice double jab right there. Nice and simple.
Wilder connecting with that jab. Good tool so far for Wilder. And we've seen him use the jab before in other fights. Something that he does have in his arsenal. That left
nice check hook.
Puts him down, and Herndon looks at referee Ray Corona saying that that was a slip. That was not a knockdown. Very frustrated.
It was a balance shot,
yeah,
but he did get hit with the check hook.
But it didn't appear to affect Herndon in a negative way.
No.
Just negative on the scorecards. Now Wilder upping it up as we reach the bell, and Herndon looking at his corner right now is to say, you know, was that a knockdown? Because he didn't believe so.
No, that's not it right there.
There's the left hook.
You know, it's a cupping shot, but it's still a shot.
Yep. Yeah, he was knocked down by the punch.
Yeah.
Referee Ray Corona just came over to us, say he saw the hook, saw him go down, checked with the commission, and they were counting. So that's a knockdown. Not all knockdowns are the same, Gabe. I mean, you know that. I mean, it's good on the scorecards, and Deontay coming out very aggressive to start round 3.
You know, I like Deontay's approach. You know, he's establishing the jab. He's standing firm on his shots. He's looking good.
He looks determined. It's been a peaceful mindset all week as that left hook connects there, and now another stiff jab.
And you know, one thing Deontay's doing is he's sitting on that jab. Every now and then he just pops it out there. It's a rangefinder, but then he'll change it and he'll sit on the shot and make it a power jab.
Another solid jab there from Wilder. He's looked good. He's looked sharp.
Yeah, it's very difficult to defend a jab when it's coming from different speeds and the power's different.
But Herndon's still very much in this fight. Not backing down. A huge looping right hand again. Herndon got out the way there.
But the thing is that Herndon has to throw off of those slips. That's the only way he's going to be successful, is if when he slips, it makes Deontay miss. He has to then fire.
And there's a good double jab there from Herndon.
See right here, Deontay's too tall. too long for Herndon to be able to land anything. So you have to throw off the slips.
Herndon utilizing the head movement there.
Wow.
And another jab there. Uppercut just missed there.
Good head movement right there by Herndon.
He's certainly, and he's going to have to be doing that the entire fight. But again, Deontay with a solid jab. Continues to float it out there.
Whoa.
Herndon just got underneath that right hand of Wilder.
And you know, Herndon, he has good eyes because he's slipping, he's avoiding these big shots. But you got to make your guy miss, and you got to make him pay.
Yeah, right now Wilder does not respect the offense of Herndon.
No.
And you got to get that respect.
There's no offense coming from Herndon right now. It's all defense.
Wilder keeps that right hand locked and loaded. Herndon comes in just enough. But again, the left hook from Wilder. Wilder with the jab again.
That's a nice hook right there.
Short little left hook from Wilder as he ties up with Herndon. And that's the end of the round. How would you assess Wilder so far, Gabe? I mean, he's looking sharp. He's utilizing that left hook, the jab. Hasn't landed the big right hand yet, but still.
Look, I like what he's doing because he's being patient. He's not forcing the issue. He's not diving in to land that big right hand and falling off balance. He's staying disciplined to a nice, strong jab. And the thing is, you got to understand that Herndon is not really cooperating. He's not throwing anything back where then Wilder can hit him with a clean shot.
And now Wilder's trying to close the distance here.
It's very difficult to land big shots on a guy that is being defensive minded. And that's what Herndon is doing.
Right there again, Wilder tried to load up on that right hand, and Herndon was able to stick and move, get out of the way. But just, again, not letting the hands go that much.
And Herndon landed a nice jab right there. That's a nice check hook right there by Wilder.
Followed it up right with the jab. So he's active. You've seen some Wilder fights where he won't throw a punch for several rounds. It's not the case here. And you know, the length could also be an issue for Herndon. Not only the power, but Wilder is significantly bigger.
Absolutely. That's what's giving Herndon a lot of trouble. He can't figure out how to get through. And Wilder's keeping that jab very busy.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's continuing to stick it in the face of Herndon. Now Herndon tries to close the distance, but Wilder ties him up and resets. And a left hook. Partially connected for Herndon, and now Herndon coming forward.
And that hook worked for Herndon because he slipped and fired. And that's more of what Herndon needs to do.
Wilder right there. Continues to pat that jab out there. Utilizing that left hook.
Wilder's going to have to start doubling that jab because he's just pawing that jab, and Herndon can counter off the top. He has to double that jab, stop the counter from coming.
And now Herndon presses forward. ties up with Wilder. Another jab by Wilder. 20 seconds here of round 4. This is a 10-round heavyweight bout, our main event. As Wilder unloads that left hook. And it was able to catch Herndon there. I think Herndon's a little bit off balance there. And Wilder now presses forward. And just at the nick of time, the bell ends the round.
For Herndon, if I'm in Herndon's corner, you know, I'm telling Herndon to slip shots and fire off the slips. There's a lot of times that he's slipping, but he's getting away. You got to make your guy miss and make him pay.
And that's the thing. It's only half the battle. He's slipping.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I didn't get hit.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You almost kind of have to realize I gotta win the fight too.
For sure.
And I gotta score.
Yep.
And that's the part that Herndon is forgetting. And you know, as we take a look right here, Gabe, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, right there you slip. Where's the shot? So right there he tried it. But you know, you're making Wilder miss. You gotta fire.
And you got to give Wilder something to think about. You got to try to get him on, find a way to get him on his back foot and make him think. Because if he's allowed to just stand there and try to time you up, eventually he will catch you. The left hook connects for Wilder. I mean, Wilder's doing a good job in this fight of showing that, you know, he's not just a one-trick pony. He's not just the right hand.
Yeah.
He's using the jab, check hook, and now that right hand again presses on Herndon. And then shot on the break. Herndon kind of laughs it off. Wilder kind of paws at him with the left. And that right hand backs Herndon up. I think Wilder's getting closer and closer, dude.
Yeah. And the thing is, I like when Wilder's throwing that right hand on balance, and he's not diving in.
There's that check left hook again. The left hook did some damage in the last round. Caught Herndon on the chin. Now,
ooh, nice. Nice sneaky short right uppercut by Wilder.
Wilder has that in his toolbox. We've seen that throughout the years. And now a big right hand just missed Herndon there. And now Herndon trying to be the aggressor.
I think a shot that'll work for Wilder is if he starts throwing the right hook to the body. Every time Wilder's throwing the right hand, he's throwing the right hand up top. So Herndon knows where that shot's coming. But if you could trick him and throw the right hook to the body, give him something else to think about.
And Herndon utilizing the jab. Right hand backs Herndon up a bit. Good double jab there from Wilder. Mixing in the shots. Not seeing as much movement from Herndon as we did earlier in the fight. Deontay just with that right hand back.
See right here when Wilder's pressing Herndon to the rope. Throw that right hook to the body. That right hook to the body would then open up the left hook up top.
Good right hand from Herndon there. Now rips into the body of Wilder. And Herndon just kind of spun wild. And now Wilder has Herndon trapped in the corner, but tied him up. That's the end of the round, but things getting a little bit testy there towards the end of that one. Right here, some of the highlights from the round as Wilder trying to sneak in the uppercut there. And that was good body work from Herndon, even though he kind of spun out of that in a wild way. Halfway through our main event, some blood coming from the nose of Herndon. Gabe, how are you seeing this so far on the scorecards?
I think Wilder so far is winning every round. You know, with the jab alone, the right hand's really not landing flush yet, but it's getting there.
It certainly seems like Wilder's getting closer and closer. The movement's becoming less and less with Herndon. And that's one thing he's got to be conscious of, because you cannot stop moving against the bronze bomber.
And, you know, I think in order for that straight right hand, see, that's what I like. He switched it up, a left hook to the body. Start throwing different punches where then you can set up that big straight right hand.
That was a good left hook to the body there. That's what you've been calling for. As Wilder now, that right hand wasn't full power, but certainly caught Herndon, as Herndon now kind of slipped down. It's more of a shove, according to Ray Corona, but he's telling him, you know, don't put your head down.
Herndon's breaking down, though. He got up really slow.
Yeah, the legs are certainly starting to go, and Wilder locked and loaded, trying to utilize that right hand. And Herndon again continues to duck underneath to tie up Wilder. And that right hand got through the defense. Herndon's got to be careful. There's the right hand, and now Wilder's got Herndon in trouble. There's a stiff jab there. And Herndon's got to find some answers quickly.
Wilder got to get it back to that jab. Get back to the jab. Get back to the jab and let that set up the big right hand. Nice.
There's that right hand. You know, it's partially blocked by Herndon. And now Herndon was tied up with Wilder a bit. Ray Corona letting him fight out of it. And there's that looping right hand. Herndon just ducked out of the way. And now Herndon put his glove on the mat, so that counts as a knockdown. And Herndon back to his feet at the 8 count. Wilder, you can see he senses it. He's getting closer. Oh my goodness, and there's that left hook. Caught Herndon. Herndon holding on to the left glove. And there, the straight right by Wilder.
And I like that Wilder staying composed. He's picking smart shots, landing clean.
And there's the right hand there. Caught Herndon. Final 10. And Herndon thrown to the ground. Able to survive, but Gabe, you starting to see the legs are going from Herndon.
It's a lot, man. You got a big guy like Wilder on top of you, throwing big shots, leaning on you, putting that weight on you. He's breaking Herndon down.
And you can start to see the exhaustion setting in with Herndon. It sounds easy when you talk about a guy like Wilder, where you're like, I just got to avoid the right hand, and if I keep the movement, you know, I can pull this off.
Yeah, but see, what Wilder's doing is he's staying composed. He's being aggressive, but he's not going crazy. He's picking his shots wisely. Right hand, slipping, throwing that big power jab.
There's that left hook. And there was a moment you could just see it's wearing on Herndon.
And Wilder just needs to stick to that jab. Stick to the jab. The jab is what's working for him.
And again, the movement is almost non-existent now for Herndon. We saw it in the first few rounds, but it is hard. It is not as simple as just stick and move against a guy like Wilder. And there's Wilder again closing the distance with the right hand. Herndon trying to push Wilder off. And there's the right hand that knocks Herndon back. And Herndon kind of turns his back. So that's a no-no. Cannot turn your back. And Ray Corona, you see him talking to Herndon, kind of warning him, hey, you got to show me something. And there's right hand blocked by Herndon. Looping left hook there.
Oh.
That right hand got through the defense of Herndon a bit. And there's the left hook. Caught Herndon, and Herndon just kind of turtles up. And now Herndon just takes a knee. And Ray Corona telling him to get up.
I think it's just a matter of time now, man.
I think Herndon now is at the point of just trying to survive. And there's the left hook, knocks Herndon back. Wilder's shots are getting through. He hasn't landed flush with that right hand. It's always partially blocked or getting a little bit through the defense, but still not yet connected fully. And there's that right hand, gets through the defense again. And there's a huge right hand, knocks back Herndon, and Ray Corona stops it. Herndon upsets.